Like the plan isn't already in place.
Right.
Is this an employment article? Is it all about him whining and crying that the technician has to sell you 4 or 5 things that you really don't necessarily need at this exact moment?
This is the sound of our battle cries.
So it says, together the companies at the summit power what Farley calls the essential economy. It's made up of critical industries like construction, utilities, freight and delivery, agriculture, transportation, oil and gas, energy, first responders, and equipment manufacturing. These industries account for $12 trillion of gross domestic product, 95 million jobs, and 3 million businesses. It's an area of the economy that continues to experience worker shortages as older workers age out and Gen Z views jobs such as this loading trains as too demanding.
So now we're back to employment.
Right.
We left employment and we were talking about Donald Trump's policies. And now we haven't talked about a policy yet. We're back to employment.
Mm-hmm.
So is this an employment article? Is it all about him whining and crying that
it is?
He doesn't want to pay what it takes to, and it's not just pay. It's not just pay at the car dealership or at the Ford manufacturing facility. There are things that are out of date, certainly at the car dealership, probably at the car manufacturing facility. Well, for instance, the union is strong, and I'm all for collective bargaining and the right to collective bargain, but the pension things that they offer are out of date. And at the car dealership, the methodology with which you pay your technician on flat rate doesn't line up with what is the best for the customer. And if you're not treating the customer right, well, there's something to do that. With Ford, you can have any color you want as long as it's black. You can go to any dealership that you want as long as you understand that the technician has to sell you 4 or 5 things that you really don't necessarily need at this exact moment. They have to sell that to you today or this week or next week to pay for their mortgage. And that is going to that left a bad taste in my mouth. That's one of the main reasons why I left the industry. Now, don't get me wrong. I liked to sell. I got excited when I could put together a compelling set of recommendations and that customer said, yeah, let's go for it. It's exciting. You know, you're selling product, selling work, getting paid. But there were times and there were products such as the brake fluid flush every 18.5 miles. That's not a scam. The brake fluid flush is not a scam. The service interval is a scam. And maybe these younger people don't want to be a part of a scam because everything is on camera today. There's a history. There's a record of everything you ever do, ever have done, ever will do. And everybody, you know, there's always been a stigma at the car shop, the car dealership, or the repair facility that are they really doing the thing to fix my car for the right amount of money, or am I getting ripped off? And maybe there's more ability for customers to talk and post things and paint the technician in a bad light, and it'll stick.
Yeah, it's possible. They don't go into that at all in this article, obviously.
Well, there's reasons because you know they're offering this, you know, entry level people so many thousands of dollars a year. So the money probably isn't the problem. The way you have to go in there and operate to get the money, and then.
Well, this article does suggest 2 reasons. It says Gen Z doesn't want to load trains because it's too demanding. And then it says, meanwhile, some existing workers lack the skill experts say are necessary to stay current as AI technology becomes embedded throughout the supply chain. So they're saying they don't want to do the incredibly difficult manual labor, and they aren't up to date on the AI technology, which is difficult to do because it updates all the time.
Well, loading trains is a union job. And if you can't get people to go and take a union job, that's a collective bargaining agreement problem. That's less a Ford problem. No, I don't want to say that because, you know, these are 2 titans. You got Teamsters on one side or UAW on one side. And then you have Ford, a titan of industry, on the other side, both digging their heels in. So that's a collaborative problem. But if they want the young people to go in there and work, then they'll do that. Well, what Ford knows and what the union knows is that if they don't find human bodies to go and do it, they're going to find industrial automation that will go in there and do it.